You ever have one of those nights where just know, you're about to star in someone else's worst idea? Yeah, that was me, 6:42 p.m., Dinwiddie County, Virginia. The sunlight was dripping gold across a street full of sprinkler mist and kids riding bikes. Like nothing bad could possibly happen here, right? And me, Malik Townsend, just coming off a marathon shift with the Joint Task Force, half dead on paperwork, smelling like stale coffee, and wanting nothing more than to see my own porch. I'm barely 20 minutes from home, not speeding, just gliding in my black Charger, no music, no phone calls. Hell, the loudest thing in that car was the air conditioner. Then, out of nowhere, I get the lights behind me. No siren, just the sheriff's SUV right on my bumper, quick and close, like he'd been waiting for me. I exhale, tap my signal, roll over slow. I've been pulled over before. Being black in this part of Virginia, it's a rite of passage, but you never get used to it, not really. Especially with that cop swagger, you know what I mean? White guy, built like a linebacker, sunglasses on even though the sun's setting, hand hovering near his holster. He doesn't introduce himself, doesn't ask how I'm doing, just, "You live around here?" I keep my face forward. "I do." He gives me that head tilt like he's the human lie detector. License and registration. My wallet's in my jacket, registration in the glove box. I tell him everything, nice and slow, no surprises. I move careful, like I'm trying to defuse a bomb, and set both on the dash. He doesn't even touch him. "You were creeping through the neighborhood," he says, real serious. Creeping. Like that's a crime now. Apparently somebody called it in. I tell him I'm just trying to get home, driving 28. "You got something in the car I should know about?" And I just look at him, exhausted. I'm not nervous. I'm tired. Been working since 7. Just want to get home. Step out of the vehicle. Just like that. No reason, no explanation. I try. For what? But he's locked in, commanding. It's getting tense. My heart's thumping, but my hands stay on the wheel. So I tell him, "Officer, I'm a federal agent. My FBI badge and ID are in this wallet." I even hold it up so he can see. Gold badge glinting in the sunset, name clear as day. Special Agent Malik Townsend, Norfolk Field Office. He doesn't even blink. "I don't care who you say you are. Out of the car now." That's when it clicks. This isn't about procedure. This is about power. He steps back and radios in for backup, calling me, male refusing to comply, claims to be FBI. I lock my jaw, not in anger, in restraint. I know how this game goes. He's puffed up, waiting for me to give him any excuse, and the neighbors are starting to notice. Woman with a hose across the street, a guy walking his dog, a teenager with a phone out. Now I got an audience. I speak loud enough for everyone. I am Special Agent Malik Townsend of the FBI. I have not resisted. This officer is violating protocol. "Keep talking," he mutters. "Backup's coming." He spins me, yanks my arms, cuffs me, too tight. I don't fight, not because I can't, but because there's more power in restraint. Let him show the world who he is. The phones are rolling now. Ellison, that's his name. He's sweating, acting like he's on some TV show. Then the backup rolls up. And here comes Lieutenant Karina Voss, sharp-eyed, mid-40s, walks like she's been running this town her whole life. She sizes up the whole scene in 2 seconds flat. Black man in cuffs, white patrolman high on adrenaline, neighbors with their cameras out. Ellison tries to paint me as some erratic suspect who refused to follow commands. Voss just looks at my badge, looks at me, and her face changes. "Special Agent Townsend?" I nod. "That's me." Now Ellison looks confused. Voss turns cold. "You cuffed a federal agent?" He stumbles through some nonsense about protocol, but she shuts him down. "Which part of protocol says you ignore a badge and cuff without checking credentials?" He's got nothing. She gets the cuffs off me. My wrists are already burning red. "Are you carrying?" she asks. "Off duty, no weapon." Ellison tries one more time to save face, blaming my attitude. Voss just stares him down. "You ever think maybe that attitude comes from being pulled over in his own neighborhood for driving under the speed limit?" She calls for his body cam. He hands it over, defeated. The video plays. My voice is calm, clear, professional, asking the right questions, never raising my tone. Voss's jaw tightens. "You violated protocol. You escalated without cause. You unlawfully detained a federal officer." Ellison gets defensive. He's spiraling now. He was challenging me. Voss isn't having it. "Enough. You're relieved of duty pending investigation. You could see it hit him. This is real. This is public, and there's no walking it back. I tell her, I don't want an apology. I want accountability. She nods. You're about to get it. And just then the kid with the phone, Jaden, comes closer. You got it all? I ask. He nods. Good. Keep it safe. The neighbors are quiet, just watching, waiting. Voss orders Ellison into custody. Cuffs, Miranda rights, everything. You ever seen a cop's face when he realizes the badge doesn't make him invincible? It's not anger, it's disbelief. The cuffs click shut. The crowd doesn't cheer. They don't have to. Justice is louder than noise. Voss comes over, apologizes. What happened shouldn't have happened. I nod, but tell her let's not kid ourselves. This isn't rare. She agrees, but points to the cameras. Today, somebody saw it. That matters. She asks if I want to file an internal complaint or let the Bureau handle it. Bureau, I say, but I want the footage. You'll have it. She even lets me see her angle, body cam footage of me, calm, Ellison losing his cool. I watch it, not for satisfaction, but to remind myself I did what I had to. Mind sending me that? She already did. Then Jaden, the kid, he comes up. You didn't yell, didn't swing, didn't even flinch. I tell him, you don't have to prove you're calm to stay alive. That's not a rule, that's survival. But sometimes, that's what keeps you breathing. His eyes say he gets it and hates it. Voss still has paperwork for me, needs a statement. Tomorrow, I say. Tonight, I just want to go home. She gets it. As I head to my car, I ask, you think anything will actually happen to him? She doesn't promise me justice, just truth. Sometimes, that's where it starts. I drive off slow, wrists aching, window down, letting the night air cool me off, and for a second I almost feel free. Back at the scene, Ellison's sitting in the cruiser, realizing his world just tilted. Voss tells him straight, you're being charged with unlawful detainment, excessive force, failure to follow protocol. He tries to defend himself, says, I made a call. She snaps back. You didn't think at all. You weren't looking for truth. You were looking for control. That's when the crowd actually claps, a few of them, awkward, but honest. Not for his arrest, but because for once, the rules actually applied to someone in uniform. Jaden's next to Voss, still filming. You think he'll lose his badge? Depends on who's watching, she says. And he says, they're watching now. She just nods. The next morning my phone's blowing up, bureau officials, reporters, internal affairs. But I sit at my kitchen table, sipping black coffee, watching Jaden's video on repeat. The way Ellison barked, the way I kept my cool, the way Voss stepped in. That's justice. Sometimes it's not loud, it's just someone doing the damn job. And if you're watching this and thinking, that could have been me, you're right. This happens every day. But what changes things, what actually moves the needle, is when someone, anyone, gets held accountable, no matter the badge. So record. Speak up. Share. Stand firm. Because respect isn't about the uniform. It's about what you do when no one's looking. And next time somebody thinks authority means impunity, just remind him, real power doesn't need to shout. It knows. So what about you? What do you think? Where's the line between safety and control? When does justice finally look like justice? Drop a comment. Let's hear your side.